Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contracts. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Take control of the numbers and supercharge your small business with Xero. That's Xero. With our easy-to-use accounting software with automation and reporting features, you'll spend less time on manual tasks and more time understanding how your business is doing. 87% of surveyed U.S. customers agree Xero helps improve financial visibility. Search Xero with an X or visit Xero.com/ACAST to start your 30-day free trial. Conditions apply.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kilowatt, a podcast about electric vehicles, renewable energy, autonomous driving, and much, much more. My name is Bodie, and I am your host. And on today's episode, we are going to cover news. But we're not going to cover Tesla that much because tomorrow is Tesla's shareholder meeting. And I might have to break that episode up into two just because there's a lot that goes into a shareholder meeting. So we'll kind of see what happens. I suspect if Elon's pay package is denied, I suspect it'll be a very short meeting. But if it's, not denied, then I'm guessing it'll be a little bit longer. So, yeah. So we're going to start with Tesla news today, since, like I said, we're going to talk a lot about Tesla in the coming days, and then we'll jump into our regular standard EV news. First up, according to Not a Tesla app, Tesla will soon allow you to give an FSD subscription as a gift, which I think is a neat idea. It kind of seems, from a standpoint of, I guess, marketing, right? You're getting somebody to pay for your product to get somebody else to use it. And then if they like it, then they may start paying for it as well. And, Bob's your uncle. Now you have 2 customers instead of 1 customer, and your cost to acquire that second customer was 0. It actually netted you $100. Not a bad way to do things. I would much rather that Tesla did something like every month that you're a subscriber, or every 3 months you're a subscriber, you can gift 1 month to somebody else. I think that would be a better way to handle this. But what do I know? I am not the CEO of a $1 trillion company, and there's a reason for that. Tesla's Fremont factory is celebrating 15 years of EV production. Of course, before it became the Tesla factory, it was owned by Toyota. So, there's a longer history, was what I'm saying, with that factory. But Tesla's been building EVs there for 15 years, and congrats. I think that's awesome. Let's see. The Tesla Model Y L, or Long Edition, which is a longer car. This car is only available in China, by the way. They just got vehicle to load capabilities, which basically means you can plug something into your car and power it, like household devices. It's not vehicle to home or vehicle to grid, it's vehicle to home. And the interesting thing is I don't think Tesla made this known that it had this capability built into it, but recently they just, through a software update, turned it on and let everybody know. But I could be wrong. Maybe people knew that it had vehicle to load capabilities. And then Tesla's chair person, Robin Denholm, told CNBC that Tesla has other vehicles coming out and will release them soon. Now, she did not go into any detail. We don't know We don't know if this is going to be a different trim of their current vehicles or if this is a completely new model entirely. We just don't know. But in related news, I can announce that Kilowatt will be releasing episodes soon, new episodes soon. But I can't give you a whole lot of detail about that. Let's see, our final Tesla story here. Tesla is posting job openings for the next gen Roadster, which, we're close to production. Production for the next gen Roadster is slated for sometime in 2027. The Roadster was announced in 2017 at the Tesla Semi event. It was that one more thing moment, pretty cool. A little, Tesla came out and they showed off the Tesla Semi, and that was very impressive. And then, next thing you know, out pops a Tesla Roadster. I believe they backed it out or drove it out of a semi trailer. But anyway, it was a cool moment. At that time, Elon had said that it's going to come with a 200 kilowatt hour battery, which in 2017 was nutty. But a 200 kilowatt hour battery, it'll have 620 miles of range. It'll go 0 to 60 in 1.99 seconds. And then if you get the SpaceX package, which Elon talked about a little bit later, the SpaceX package, you can get 0 to 60 in less than a second. Top speed is 250 miles per hour, and it might actually hover, but who knows if that's really the case. If this car can go 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds on the street, I do not know how we don't have somebody that gets liquefied by getting hit by this car or in being inside the car and hitting something. This seems incredibly dangerous. Now, there is the possibility that these ultra advanced features are for a track mode, right? When you're on the track, you can enable these. And when you're on the street, you have to follow other, reasonable laws. But 250 miles an hour is just like I've driven quite a bit over 100 before in my younger days. And that like 110, 115 seems a little sketchy, especially on a dark Alaska road. Maybe wasn't the best use of my time. But yeah, anyway, that was scary. I can't imagine what 250 miles an hour feels like. Like I said, production will begin in 2027, according to Tesla. But originally, production was set to begin in 2020. That did not happen, unfortunately, for a variety of different reasons. One of those was the pandemic, and the other one, I think, was just Tesla kept changing things as they kind of developed the car. Like the SpaceX package was, as far as I know, not a part of that original announcement, for instance. And it definitely wasn't going to, as Elon has hinted, I don't think he's expressly said it, but hinted it wasn't going to hover. All right, that is it for our Tesla news. Let's go ahead and dive into our EV news. And we're going to start off with NIO. NIO's deliveries are up 93% year over year. In October 2025, NIO delivered 40,397 vehicles, which is a 92.6% increase over October 2024's numbers. That's fantastic. Here are the breakdowns, because NIO has 3 brands. They have the NIO brand, the Envo brand, which is more affordable, and then the Firefly brand, which is supposed to be like the ultra affordable brand. Even though when you compare Firefly to other cars in that category, Firefly is a little bit more expensive. All right, so here's the breakdown. The NIO brand delivered 17,143 vehicles. The Envo brand actually outsold NIO. Envo sold 17,342, and then Firefly came in at 5,912. So not a huge number for Firefly. I think they've sold about a total of 26,000 total of that particular car. Now, they started selling it, I think, in April or May. Maybe they showed it off in April and they started selling in May. They haven't been selling it for very long. So I would expect in 2026 that number to be quite higher, and it could even be higher than the Neo brand and the Envo brand combined. But we'll kind of keep an eye on it and see how that goes. Neo is close to delivering 1 million EVs in 2025. Will they do it? I have no idea, but it would be cool if they did. You know, Neo has gone through lots of up and downs over the years, ups and downs over the years. And it would be nice to see them come out of this ahead. You know, I think what they do is really interesting. I think they have a great product. It has a lot of kind of whimsy built into it. So anyway, big fan of Neo. I'm also a big fan of Scout Motors, and Scout Motors has 130,000 reservations for the Terra and the Traveler. The Terra is the pickup truck. The Traveler is the SUV. 80% of those reservation holders want the gas range extender or the E-Rev. So if you don't know, Scout Motors is offering 2 different versions of the Terra and the Traveler. Like I said, you can get the E-Rev or the gas range extender version, or you can get a complete full battery electric version. So for the E-Rev, the gas engine charges the battery when the state of charge is too low. The gas motor or the gas generator does not power the wheels at all. It only puts electricity back in the battery. So it's a little bit more efficient than what you would get with a regular ICE vehicle. The E-Rev version will use LFP battery chemistry. It'll have a battery range of about 150 miles. And then with the gas generator, it'll have a total range with the battery and the generator of 500 miles. Now, like I said, there's going to be an all-electric version as well. That is expected to have around 350 miles of range, and that will use nickel manganese cobalt battery chemistry, or NMC. The other thing is, and I think some people are going to be really excited about this, is Scout Motors, the CEO, Scott Keogh, he's not a big fan of having features buried deep in menus, right? He doesn't want you to have to, if you want to turn on, let's say, the radio, he doesn't want you to have to go 8 layers deep to turn on the radio. They actually have buttons, and I would assume knobs in the Scout Motors vehicle that allows you to kind of interact in a more traditional way than. And you could still always, get to the places that you're trying to go through the touch screen, but just having those knobs and buttons there, just a little bit easier.
Take control of the numbers and supercharge your small business with Xero. That's Xero. With our easy-to-use accounting software with automation and reporting features, you'll spend less time on manual tasks and more time understanding how your business is doing. 87% of surveyed U.S. customers agree Xero helps improve financial visibility. Search Xero with an X or visit Xero.com/ACAST to start your 30-day free trial. Conditions apply.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I don't know if you've heard, but Mint's premium wireless is $15 a month. But I'd like to offer one other perk. We have no stores. That means no small talk. Crazy weather we're having. No, it's not. It's just weather. It is an introvert's dream. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Hey, it's Maya and Sim from the Girls That Invest podcast. If you are an IT or security pro, you know managing devices, identities, and applications can feel overwhelming and honestly risky. That's where Trellica by 1Password comes in. It helps conquer SaaS sprawl and shadow IT by discovering every app your team uses, managed or not. With pre-built app profiles, you can assess risk, manage access, and even optimize your software spend. Plus, it simplifies onboarding, offboarding, and compliance, all while cutting costs by eliminating unused licenses. Take the first step to better security for your team. Learn more at onepassword.com/special offer.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states.
All right, and that brings us to our final EV story. The reviews for the 2026 Polestar 4 are finally in, and it's being reviewed pretty well. I'm going to run down the specs of the vehicle, and I'm not going to get too much into the reviews. But for the most part, people are saying this is a really good car, fun to drive, especially the dual motor. The dual motor is an absolute beast when you can turn track mode on. I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But let's get into the specs of this vehicle. First, Polestar, which is owned by Geely, and Geely owns a company called Zeekr. The Polestar 4 actually shares some parts with the Zeekr 001. And the Zeekr 1 has been around for a while. So a lot of these parts that are shared between the Polestar and the Zeekr have kind of been fine-tuned, which is a pretty big advantage for Polestar. So some of those shared components are the battery pack components, drive motors, steering rack, wiring, and seat structure. Now, the Polestar 4 will be sold in two different trims, but both trims come with a 100 kilowatt hour battery. So the first trim is a rear-wheel drive or single motor version. It'll have 272 horsepower, 253 pound-feet of torque, 310 miles of range, and 0 to 60 in 6.9 seconds. This car is not meant for sport driving. This is your round town, get you where you need to go car, but in a nice, luxury way, or premium way, maybe not quite luxury. And then you have the dual motor, which is 544 horsepower, 506 pound-feet of torque, 280 miles of range, and 0 to 60 in 3.7 seconds. So a little bit more of a sporty beast with the dual motor. In terms of fast charging or DC fast charging, it'll do 10 to 80% in 30 minutes, and it does come equipped with a NACS port, which is for North America. The reviews on this, just in general, are fantastic. One reviewer, especially on the dual motor, but one reviewer described driving the dual motor as basically flying through a wormhole, which is pretty descriptive. A cool thing you can do with the dual motor is you can decouple the front motor, and that will extend the range. So you're not going to get as much performance out of it, but you will get more economy. You'll be able to go further. And then even if you're driving and you want to re-engage that front motor, you can 100% do that. You don't have to stop or do anything complicated. You just hit the button and it re-engages and you're off to the races again. You can turn off traction control if you want to do a little bit of drifting. I would not recommend that. I can't remember which outlet it was, but one of the reviews that I read had said that somebody turned it off for one corner and then immediately turned it back on when they were driving it on the track. They're like, nope, no, thank you. This is I'm not qualified to drive with traction control off. Yeah. Words are hard for me. So you can choose between two different suspension setups. The first is standard, which is like a comfortable drive, yet still agile. And then if you are, let's say, you're going to the track, so you can drive in the standard suspension on the way to the track. And then when you get to the track, you turn on firm. And firm suspension, you can really feel every bump in the road. So they don't recommend it necessarily for your daily driving. Then with the rear wheel drive, all that stuff was for the dual motor. With the single motor rear wheel drive, they still said it was fun to drive, but it was agile and predictable. And, overall, it was a good car. And one reviewer said that they think most people are going to buy the single motor version. One, because it's quite a bit cheaper. And two, it meets a lot of people's needs. Now, in terms of the car itself, I don't really quite know how to explain it. I will say that there is no rear window. There's but it kind of looks like there's a rear window when you look at the car, but there is a digital rear view mirror. So there's a panoramic 180-degree view from a camera in the back. One reviewer said that the image lacked depth, so it was hard to tell how far a car was behind them. But he did say after a while, that issue softened up a little bit as he drove. So I don't know if he just got used to it, or I don't know, maybe the car did a better job at displaying the distances between the cars behind you. I don't know what that softened up means, but I'm guessing it's just he got used to it. The interior feels premium and high tech. The seats are comfy. There's a 10.2 digital instrument cluster behind the steering wheel and a 15.4 center horizontal screen, which is powered by Google's Android Automotive. There are like Google Maps and other Google apps are native on Android Automotive, as you would imagine. They also have this really cool feature that is new for Google, which is Google's live lane guidance, which gives you real-time visualization of the road in front of you, and it can, tell you where you need to be, what lane, and it kind of visualizes you moving over into the left lane or the right lane or whatever you need to be. I think this is especially helpful when it's dark outside and you're in an area that you've never been in and you don't know how exactly far away you are from your next turn. Sounds like mostly everything is done on the screen. It doesn't seem like there's any buttons. If there is, they're limited. They have a mode called animal mode, which is basically Tesla's dog mode. I don't know what you would just call it, dog mode or whatever. Animal mode seems weird. Because the system is built on Android Automotive, you can download and install additional apps, especially third-party apps, which is cool. If you want to use Android Auto, you can. If you want to use CarPlay wirelessly, you can. And I would assume that Android Auto is also wireless. The price of this vehicle, so the single motor rear wheel drive is $56,400. The all-wheel drive is about $6,000 more at $62,900, so $6,500 more. It's a cool car, but for roughly the same size of vehicle, you can get a Cadillac Optic or a Model Y for less money. But, if this is a car that speaks to you and you got $56,000 or even $62,000 just laying around and you want to own this car, which, Bart Bouchatz loves his Polestar 2. And it's not just Bart. Like lots of people really like their car, their Polestar 2, which is not sold here in the U.S. anymore. And I'm a little bummed about that. When you go to the Polestar website and you click on Polestar 2, which is available, you get the options to discover the Polestar 2, test drive, which offers, or shop pre-owned. You can't configure a new car. But I can, for some reason, book a test drive. All right. That should be good for today. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. Tomorrow at 3 p.m., I think, Central Time, Tesla is going to be doing their shareholder meeting. You could probably watch it on YouTube, but it will definitely be on Tesla's investor website if that's something you're interested in and you want to watch it from beginning to end. Typically, they leave it up there so you can catch the replay. But all right, everybody, I have got to get to bed because, as you can tell, my brain's not working so well, and that's because I'm sleepy. So I will talk to you all, well, probably tomorrow or Friday.
Hi, this is Joe from Vanta. In today's digital world, compliance regulations are changing constantly, and earning customer trust has never mattered more. Vanta helps companies get compliant fast and stay secure with the most advanced AI, automation, and continuous monitoring out there. So whether you're a startup going for your first SOC 2 or ISO 27001, or a growing enterprise managing vendor risk, Vanta makes it quick, easy, and scalable. And I'm not just saying that because I work here. Get started at Vanta.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states.
How can I help you today?
Hey, I need to talk about my loan.
No problem.
So I got the email. Sandy Spring Bank is becoming
Atlantic Union Bank. That's right.
And will you still be
your banker? Of course.
More branches and ATMs?
Way more.
Still community driven?
Still live here, still give here.
Mobile app?
Easy. Everything right at your fingertips.
And what about my business?
Always here to help you reach your goals.
Sandy Spring Bank is becoming Atlantic Union Bank, October 2025. Same bankers you love with even more to offer.